Hey, we're live. It's Friday Night Live from Central Connecticut, where it's 56 degrees. Intermittent rain. It's been intermittent rain for the last 2 weeks. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Bring all up to date since I missed last week. Smoking the Friday Savinelli with some Peterson University flake. And this stuff, it's a very thick flake. When you rub it out, it reminds me so much of Sugar Barrel. Real chunky. Not bad at all, except it's almost out because I've been smoking it since 6:30. Who have we got in the house? Yardism. He and I have been going back and forth a little bit. Pipes and kayaks. Brad is here. Thank you for coming, Brad. Kevin Hendricks. Good evening to you. David Gould. Hello. Gumby, the one and only. Great to see you. So, let's see. We got a Bing's favorite, the rusticated version. And I think we're going to smoke some ribbon cut burley because I'm in the mood for exceptional nuttiness and burley goodness. So, last Thursday night, I had the epiphany of trying to come up with a video idea that would broaden my audience a little bit without upsetting my normal people, mainly my pipers. And I had come up with that idea for filming on the iPad. Figured that I could go out to Fisher Meadows, create a video. If I tagged it right, I would get a lot of iPad interest involved in the video. Well, I had a blast doing the video and knew it was going to be a lot of editing, which it was. Got it uploaded and ended up having to take my wife to the ER for 10 hours while they tried to find out what was wrong with her blood counts, which of course they never found anything out. But anyway, checked the numbers on Saturday and the video really didn't do any better than when I normally upload a pipe and tobacco video. So I don't know what else to try, but the bottom line is I had a lot of fun doing that, and perhaps over time it'll get discovered. Tillerman 70H is in the house. Good to see you. Wharf Valley Boy. Watched his video recently. He's interested in chess, which I am too, but I'm a lousy chess player. He may just push me to get back into it. We'll have to see. I think I have to raise my camera a little bit. Pardon me. Oh, you're not attached. Well, that's no good. That's better. Yeah, so that was the video story. How about a little mail call? George from Maine blew me away. sent me an email asking if he could send me some tampers. And he sent me some pictures. He says, tell me what you like. He does some great work. Can't wait to show you these. I saw this one and absolutely fell in love with it. And it's not going to focus right because I have the focus on lock. But anyway, this is sort of a honeycomb white with a blue background. It's really beautiful with the brass on the bottom. Got this one, which is leather wrapped. Really nice, hefty. And the joke one he sent me is a toilet plunger. Really fits my job. Thanks to George up in Maine. I'm loving those, and they're on my desk. Then I have another surprise from Ronnie in Michigan. Sent me all kinds of stuff. For my retirement, he sent me a pipe rack where the slots for the pipes are designated by the day. So it's got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday pipes. Haven't quite put that into use yet. It's probably going to be filled with all 673s. We'll have to see. Also, he knows I'm a shipwreck buff. And being from Michigan as he is, they have an unbelievable history of shipwrecks because of the Great Lakes. Is it Superior that's out there, or Lake Michigan, or whatever? So he sent me a book on a lot of the wrecks out that way. Sent me a lot of driftwood tamper that he made. And the big prize, as far as I'm concerned, this little guy here, the sailor, which I've always wanted one of these. Looks like some handiwork from Carving Piper there, Jared. So he sits close by and keeps an eye on me. Buckeye Piper, thank you for that. All 5 Great Lakes touch Michigan. No wonder they have so many wrecks. Doug Owen, good evening, my friend. Juan Carlos, good to see you. Uh-oh. Don Miles says Lake Ontario does not touch Michigan. Timothy Davis, thank you very much for commenting. As you know, we love our lurkers. If it weren't for you guys, we'd only have half an audience. Thank you very much. Hey, Luke Reisner, just talking to you on Twitter. Great to see you here. Hope you're enjoying your adult beverage. Hello, Blue Dog. Quaker Piper Hector. Hillbilly Piper, how are you doing? Yeah, it's been a rough week. I could use an adult beverage myself, but if I did that, I'd have to point the camera down at the floor, I think. So we've had all this rain, and we had a break in the weather. I think it was Tuesday. Went out to cut the lawn, and I have this old Toro. It's not that old. It's 6 years old maybe, but it's an old Toro. And it always has carburetor trouble because it doesn't like ethanol. So I figured, well, I got a backup lawnmower. I'll use the backup mower and clean the Toro carburetor another day. Couldn't get the backup lawnmower going. Decided I don't want to deal with this. So I took the lawnmower to a mechanic, a place here in town that does small engine work. And as soon as I dropped it off, they said, just so you know, it's going to be 5 weeks before we can even look at it. Well, I've never done any work on that mower, so I'm not familiar with it. So I had to leave it. Came back home, cleaned the carburetor and everything in my Toro, started up, first pull, started to do the lawn. I must have hit a stick and it knocked the drive belt off of the flywheel. To put that belt back on is a pain in the neck. So I had to push the stupid mower for the rest of my front lawn. And I'm going to have to take that apart the next day the sun comes out. It's like it's one thing after another. Who have we got new here? Sergeant Savinelli. He's not in bed. Either he's not working tonight or he can't sleep. Which is it, Sarge? Oh, Sarge, don't tell me you haven't talked to Ghost Cobb yet. Hello, Gainesville, Texas, Harvey Piper. Good to see you. Sandpiper, yes, you made it live. We're really here. Sarge just got up. All right, Ghost Cobb and Sarge are taking care of business. Oh my goodness. So, oh, what's my next tale of woe? As you know, or may not know, I started out tonight smoking University Flake, which, if I remember correctly, I got from Tamper Tantrum. And in the box that he sent that in, he sent me some Burley Seeds to plant this spring. And 2 weeks ago, I put them in a seedling tray, tried to get them to germinate. And I think it was Tuesday when I was having all the trouble with the lawnmower. I decided these things aren't going to germinate, because I think it said something like 7 to 10 days. Oh, thank you very much, Luke. You're the best. So I took more of the seeds outside and I just scattered some on a plot where I thought I might be planting burley if I had gotten the seedlings. And we'll have to see what happens with that. As I said to somebody today, I'm sort of hoping nothing happens, because as it is, I don't have time to get my regular stuff done. I don't know what I'd do if I had to start tending to tobacco. Pipe Grump. Hello. Bob Higgins. They cut down the dividing trees. That's interesting. Bob Higgins is from Natick, my hometown. And always good to talk to him and find out what's going on up there. Reading a little question from Doug Owen. Gandalf, is that correct? The United States produces more tobacco than it does wheat? There's a fun fact to know for a party. We have 69 in the house at the moment. We don't mind that. So where was I? Tobacco seeds. Yeah. I'm just not a very good farmer, I guess. In other news, been working on I've been working on all of my plans for my exit from my job in the next 9 months. 9 months is what I got left. And I kind of have it all organized now, finally, because there's so many dates I got to remember to do things so that everything's in order when I'm no longer working. I did send out my first resume today, but that's a whole nother story. So one of the things I have to do, and I'll take anybody's input, is the phone that I use now is provided by my employer. And so I've never had to buy a phone or a phone plan. And researching it as far as I have, I'm looking at just buying a phone outright and then trying to find a plan where I can pay up front for a whole year without having any hidden costs. If anybody has any terrific ideas on that, let me know. Because that's one of the only unknowns right now where I haven't got any idea what I'm doing. I've been using Motorola phones at work, and I've been happy with those. They've been the higher end Motorola's though, so I'm kind of looking at like a G7. Anybody have a G7? James Corrigan. Are you related to Bob Higgins? How did we get Bob Higgins and James Corrigan talking about Kennedy? Kennedy is Kennedy Middle School, for any of you who don't know that. T-Mobile. Yes. Gus Evening, thank you for that. I actually have seen, not advertisements, but if you go like to Best Buy and look for their phone plans, they're much less than $50 a month. But I'm still looking into all that. And somebody else where I work mentioned to me T-Mobile. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. Just one more thing that I got to deal with. But it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, I've got it organized in OneNote by signing up for Medicare, signing up for Social Security, signing up for my 401k payments. Matches is getting old. 79 in the house. We got 10 more people here. That's great. Good evening, Danielle. Yes, Doug, I missed your earlier chess challenge. What is your chess challenge? I hope it's not to play a game. And I must say, I'm very rusty too. When my daughter was growing up, she's still growing up, but when my daughter was young, I thought it would be fun to teach her how to play chess. And I got a chess book and I had the board. And we went through the whole thing. We used to play, had a great time doing it. But I'm rusty. I'm really rusty. All right, James, I guess I got it straight. But I'm sure I'll forget. What am I doing? I have my Bing's favorite with nothing in it. So we're going to do Haunted Bookshop. Because that's what we do. 84 people. Let's hit 102 tonight. Everybody go and get your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your significant other. Get them on here. I really can't complain about YouTube because I do keep track of the numbers. And one of the important ones is how long people will stay with you when you're talking in a video or even talking live like we're doing now. And my average is 6 minutes and I just looked at it, 6 minutes and some change, which is really good. Anything above 3 minutes, they consider good audience retention. So I'm not going to complain. Daniel, Match is a new pipe smoker. What tobacco other than Burley do you recommend for a new smoker? What is the biggest pipe you have? Oh, we're going to have to come back to that one. Boy, oh boy, other than Burley. You can try Virginias. You can try English blends. You can try aromatics. I don't really, I'd have to know a little bit more about what your what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? Tastes are. Ghost Cob, yeah, I'm with Verizon with my company, but they are really expensive. And I don't really go through a lot of data because I don't download a lot of stuff. I never have time. So my other problem is that I have to go to Verizon with my employer. My employer has to turn over the phone number to me, which they've already agreed to do, so that when I buy an unlocked phone, I can say, this is the number I want, and then there's some kind of interaction between Verizon and whoever picks up my new phone, because the number has to be transferred. If it gets real complicated, I'm just gonna go out and buy an unlocked phone and then deal with the carrier part afterwards. If I have a new phone number, it's not a big deal. I think the only real thing I have to change is right away is my bank. And then I'll just have to get on YouTube and tell everybody my phone number changed. Bacon old fashioned all day, every day. Briar Bear, how you doing? Oh, I got to get back to my largest pipe. Wait a minute. I think it's this one. I believe that's my largest pipe. Now, my favorite packing method. I've done it twice, I think, in videos, where it's strictly stuff and puff. And if I'm using a pouch, the pipe just goes into the pouch. My index finger pushes tobacco in, and then I tamp it down with my finger, and I'm good to go. I can't get into all these layers and Frank method and all of that, but most certainly everybody should be aware of what those different methods are so that they can speak on them. I agree, Yardism. Phil, smoke and enjoy. Ronnie Ewing was talking about you already. I hope you didn't miss it. If you did, go back and watch the rerun. Because I love my little guy here. Still talking about phones a bit. ADP08, APD08. Thanks for coming by. Buckeye Piper, HGL night. HGL is great stuff. For anybody who wants to try that, I don't see how anybody could not like it. Fantastic. Tillerman 70H. I'm sure I have aromatics here. Well, I still have some vanilla Cavendish, which I haven't smoked in probably years. But I dread the thought of throwing it away. It's probably about 6 ounces that I have of that. As far as tins, if I have any tins that are aromatic, I don't have that many. Plum cake. Plum cake. Bona Piper. By the way, I love some of the pictures you put on Facebook. I hope you continue to find those gems that you've been posting. The only problem is I can never share them because I think you post them to a group. And usually the groups have sharing turned off, which is a big drag. When smoking, do you prefer listening to music, watching TV, reading a book, or simply staring into space? I haven't watched TV in well over a year and a half. And I would have to say music or staring off into space. Hello, Seven Boots from Germany. Guten Abend. Yes, yes, Haunted Bookshop. It's loved worldwide. And mine went out. That was good. A little confusion on what Haunted Bookshop is. Old khakis. Always good to see you, Wes. I wish we could get Alec on here. What's his name now? I haven't seen him on YouTube for so long. I forget his name. Eastern. Somebody help me out here. Alec there from Cape Cod. He and Wes always reminded me of each other. Eastern Ocean frog. No, 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 no. Ronnie, I haven't got to the book yet, but I see myself this summer getting the lounge chair out and sitting under my birch tree and reading a couple of those at least. Sarge is getting bent out of shape here. Calm down, Sarge. We had 106. It went down to 96 on my marker. I'll take your word for it. So we hit our goal of 102. Juan, John didn't like Condor. I did like the long cut, and somebody said it's exactly the same thing, which I find hard to believe because the Ready Rub, to me, had this weird aftertaste to it. Could have been me, I don't know. Jay Graham, you've made my day because you're one of now 99 here. Robert McConnell's Latakia Flake. Sounds good to me. Over a pipe. How are you doing tonight? Huckman. Jackknife plug. Gandalf wants to know who is the best chess player of all time. Who were those two guys that played each other back in the, was it the 80s? There was a Russian and a US guy. Doug Owen will know that. Yes, Kasparov. Fischer. What else have I got here? Nothing. Good. I'm all talked out. No, I have more, I'm sure. Yes, Bobby Fischer is. James Corrigan, Doug Owen. is the proprietor of Cargo Hold out in Paulsbo, Washington. A regular visitor here on Matches 860. And a well-respected member of the YTPC. Doug is good people. Just hit 100. Good night, Ghost Cobb. Thanks for joining us. Hope everything is well in Gettysburg. Thank you, Blue Dog. Alec from Cape Cod is classic fly tire. What a heck of a guy. And I had the pleasure of meeting him on one of my vacations to Cape Cod. It was rather quick and I was on my way home, but he texted me and he says, hey, I'll meet you over at the harbor. And we got together, and I'll tell you, what a guy he is. Really nice. Interesting story with him. He started on YouTube a couple of years ago. And he was like all of us, you know, you make a video and you hope 20 people watch it and you'll be happy. He was like an overnight success. And he soon found himself, as we all do, engaged in 200 tobacco trades. He was getting stuff in the mail from people, and he was trying to send stuff back out to them. He was getting hundreds of comments a week that he was trying to keep up with. And when I said to him, you know, how come haven't you been on? And he said, it's way more than I thought it was going to be. And geez, it's terrible that somebody has to not do videos because they can't keep up with their fan base. But what a great guy. Really great guy. Seven Boots, thank you very much. I'm sure it's middle of the night where you are. Have a good evening. Pipes and Beans. It's a Bing's favorite, rusticated. Huckman had some crooner earlier. Good stuff. Any other questions? Anything else to keep me busy for about another 5 or 10 minutes as I enjoy this Bing's favorite and haunted bookshop? Owen is still looking for the 673 lucite. We must find him a 673 lucite. Did you try smokingpipes.com? Pipe Nook? Somebody's got to have one. Piping and Camping, the largest warden. Well, my longest is the clay, the 14-inch clay. But, I think I have two that are the same. I'm not sure what the length of those are. They're long though. Mark, I don't smoke much Peter Stockaby. I don't smoke any of it, actually. I think I've had a couple of samples from people, but just never got around to smoking it. Tillerman 70H, the room note on Haunted Bookshop is, I believe they call it tolerable. One time I actually had somebody near me smoking it, and I got a whiff of it, and I thought it smelled pretty good. You got to fit this Virginia in there, which never smells bad, in my mind anyway. And Perique as well, I don't think smells too bad. It's the Burley that can get a little bit much. Unflavored Burley, I should say. GQ Tobaccos. Thank you, Wharf Valley Boy. I always forget about them. Juan, take a look at Doug's comment there. He can get the 673 Lucite for you if you need his email. Oh, he posted it. He'll get you a 673. You send him an email, you'll have it before you know it. Love to solve problems. Good evening, Bruce. Bruce, the musician pipe smoker. There's a long handle for you. Say that 5 times fast. Thanks for joining us, Bruce. We won't repeat that one. What is your best smoking pipe in your cabinet? Now, this is going to blow everybody away. I think I have 4. And they're all good in their own way. Naturally, my 673s come to mind first. My olive wood pipe from Olive Wood Piper, fantastic smoker. My custom built that I got from Byron Smith smokes unbelievable. Better than my other 2 custom builds. And we talked about that one night on a live stream. I believe it's because the walls are a little bit thinner. I don't know what it is, but that is a fantastic smoking pipe. And then, of course, almost any one of my church wardens or the Bing's favorite, I can really lump those pipes into my best smoking pipes. And everything else is what you would call pretty much very good smoking pipes. I don't really have anything that's, well, I do have a couple of pipes that don't agree with me at times, but we won't get into that. Regarding shipping to the United States from GQ Tobaccos, that wouldn't include pipes, would it? Or would it? Do you think bent pipe smokes better than a straight. I used to think that way, but I have several straight pipes that I really enjoy. Um, and I think part of it might have to do with what you're doing and what kind of mood you're in. If you talk to some people, they'll tell you that there's nothing like a straight pipe when you're reading or when you're busy, like writing a paper or something like that. And that if you're just relaxing, a bent pipe, might taste as good as the straight pipe when you're reading. So I think a lot of that is personal preference. What else have we got here? A lot of side discussions that I haven't kept up with. Let's see, 7:45, so we've been on for 45 minutes. We need to, I guess, wrap things up a bit. James, I don't think there's any such thing as a zigzag pipe. You're thinking of papers. Danielle, we all have to relight. In fact, I have to relight this. I wouldn't really be too concerned about it, because the main thing is enjoying the pipe while it's going. But tamping has a lot to do with keeping it going. Developing the cadence that you need to keep going is tricky. And if you watch all of my videos, you'll at times see me puffing like a freight train. It's only because I don't want to stop what I'm doing to relight, especially when I'm telling a story. So some of my story videos are pretty hilarious because I'm, talking a mile a minute, puffing a mile a minute, but I get through a whole video with either one relight or no relight. So that works for me. Yeah, sometimes it's packing looser, sometimes it's packing tighter. If you smoke for 30 years, you finally figure it out, I think. Okay. I think that's going to be it, friends and neighbors. Ooh, 114. I should stay on. So we're going to hope for a quieter week ahead. Hope you all have a great weekend. And with any kind of luck, I'll get out and do a video in the coming week. If not, we will see you next Friday night, I hope, live at 7 Eastern. Thanks an awful lot for coming. Take it easy.